Magnification volume 0%.
Good afternoon, and welcome to More Than Meets the Eye. I am your host, Blind Prime, and for today I have for you Power Rangers Season 1, The Carrier, The Lover, The Brontosaurus, Titanus, aka Titanus, for all of you people who know how to spell. I love his name. Titanus. It cracks me up. I love this guy. This is a brontosaurus, I'm pretty sure. Or it's a brachiosaurus. I always forget which one the scientists decided was not a real dinosaur anymore. Was it brachiosaurus or brontosaurus? Ah, crap. Anyway, he's got the thingy on top of his head. I think that makes him a bronto. And, he's a big thing. He's what's known as a carrier in the season, in Power Rangers, and carrier Zords were Zords that, carried the Megazords. So there's Titanus, and next is a tortoise. I think it's like it's some sort of turtle, and then I don't know what the one after that is. But I do know, there's a pyramid that's a carrier. The carriers show up, and they're always just these massive machines. I gotta say that multiple times because it's so incredibly big. There was an episode of the original Power Rangers where Jason and Tommy were going to go do something for Zordon to fix some sort of problem going on, and they had to go to some sort of magical crystal. And there were 4 of these guys just walking around in circles around the crystal area, and they had to figure out how to get around them. And that was one of the few moments in the entire show where because there's very few where you get a comparison of human versus something like a Zord. You get a few episodes in the show where they went to the garage and you get to see the other Zords while they're just being maintained and they're in their stationary positions, but you never really got to see them compared to humans that often, and it was cool to see it in that episode. I don't know how many people remember that one, but that one stuck out to me because that was the episode where the Green Ranger gave the Red Ranger his golden shield thing that goes on his chest. He passed it over to the Red Ranger so that the Red Ranger could finish the job because the Green Ranger was hurt or something. And so I remember that because the Red Ranger had the Green Ranger shield. Okay, let's get into this guy, this big old dinosaur. So he's a big one, but most of his size is actually in his really big neck. For the most part, his body itself, we're going to lower his head so I can get a good measurement of this. We'll measure him by the top of his body, not by his head. Not yet. We'll measure his head in a second. But rough estimate is 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 studs tall. We get the bumblebee out here. Well, first off, let's look at the head. So if we bring the head, we're just going to measure the length of the head. We're not going to measure the head to the ground. So we're going to set this bad boy right here. And we're going to set him right there. And I don't even know why I'm doing it that way, because I don't need to see it, but y'all may want to. So here we go. Right there. All right, that's the length of the head, and the length of the head is 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 20. His head is 23 studs long, where his body is 22 studs tall. So his head is actually taller than the body itself. And that's pretty neat. Let's see. Get a... oh, darn. Now, that works. Okay, so I'm going to scoot you back just a bit. And, your foot fell off. Okay. Sometimes these feet fall off, and it's actually really easy to put them back on. There's a little hole in the foot. You feel the toes of the foot, and then you go up to the front part of the foot, and you go up the leg area, and there's this shield that goes off to the side. And in that shield, you'll find that there's a circle, and that's a peg port. And on here, I'm going to twist you off to the side just a bit. On here, there is a little peg that sticks up above this big rubber wheel. And we're just going to set the peg in there. Yeah, there we go. Right like that. This is actually pretty cool that this can do this. There we go. And foot replaced. It's in a weird position because that's just the position the wheel has, it was turned in whenever it was turned off at the last time it was turned off. But maybe I can get the foot to bend down more. Foot, you're just gonna stand up a bit. He's got a weird foot. Okay, so I was doing this before the feet problem. So we're just going to measure, 32. Okay, cool. So he's 32 studs long wide. He's 32 studs wide at his widest point. Let's get our Bumblebee out here, and we're going to do a comparison with little old Bumblebee. Here's little old Bumblebee. Look at the little old Bumblebee. Yeah. Let's do that scene from the Transformers 4 movie, except, the one scene I wanted to see, which was Bumblebee riding a Brontosaurus. Oh, yeah. Can you do it, Bumblebee? Yeah. There you go. Now, Bumblebee, stop. Stop being like that, Bumblebee. There you go. Yeah, you ride that bucking Bronto. Ha ha! Ah, that was a dinosaur joke. Okay. Let's take Bumblebee away. And let's talk about this guy's, what he's like. So, for one thing, he's heavy. He's actually not as heavy as Black Zarek, but he is heavy. And his, I love the sculpt work in this. I've told you guys before, this thing is amazing sculpt work for something that was, created in 1993. But, the face is really well done. I don't know if the jaw moves. Does the jaw move? No. Wait. The jaw does move. Oh my God. The jaw does move. And he's got all these little teeth in there. He's got all these little teeth. Come here. Bumblebee, come here. Put your hand in there. Put your hand in there, Bumblebee. Yeah, look at that. Bronto's got himself a snack. Oh, Titanus, you dropped your snack. Your Bumblebee snack. Well, that's cool. He's got a moving jaw that opens and shuts and can eat bumblebees. That's neat. And, the sculpt work on this is quite excellent. It is a very nice dinosaur head sculpt, and I'm really, really hoping that when Transformers Studio Series 86 comes out with their Brontosaurus, Slug. I think it's Slug, yeah. And when Slug comes out, we'll get a really cool, I hope we get that neat little bit that's on the top of the Bronto's head. That's cool. Or is this the Brachiosaurus? Crap. Did your arm fall off? Your arm fell off again. You! What's going on with you and your arm, huh? Huh, little guy? You sad because you're not living in an attic anymore and you're out here with all these lights? It scares you, little Titanus? Huh? Is the little Titanus scared? Okay. Let's bring him sideways and we'll look at, a side-by-side shot of him. And that leg just fell off again. My God. This thing does not want to stay pegged into its little hole. Let me just put that back in there. There we go. At least I'm getting better at putting it back. So, this thing is made of some really durable plastic. It's, you got a nice sculpt of, mecha dinosaur on the back. I really like these vents. Let's spin them around a bit more. I really like the vents that are up here. You get these cool big old vents. And then these little bitty vents below them. Yeah, there's two big circles of vents, and that's neat. Of course, this entire chamber here will stand up for the Megazord to go in, and we'll talk about that in a moment. His tail is missing, but that's mainly because it's right here. He's just so long with the tail that I couldn't do the shots properly. And I'll combine the tail in just a second. So, molding-wise, he's got some excellent dinosaur molding on the back. I mean, it's not individual scale texture, but it is a nice texture. It's a big texture. It's got these little ridges to it and stuff. It's cool. This thing would have blown me away as a kid. And, of course, it's battery-powered, like a lot of the stuff that we've seen so far. But, once again, Dragon, the individual who's letting me borrow all this for me to do it on the show, was a smart little dragon and took the batteries out before he stored them in the attic, which Everybody appreciates it when people do that. That's always so nice, and it's an easy thing to forget. It's a really easy thing to forget, and it's cool that he didn't forget that. So, thank you, Dragon, for making this a really nice figure by keeping it safe and taking care of it. Yeah, there may be a little dirt on here and stuff, but I don't want to clean it because of the stickers. The stickers are already having problems. I gotta have to introduce Dragon to Repo Labels and get him some new stickers for this guy. Okay, so we've talked about him. He's got some decent plastic, but this is that 90s style plastic from the early 90s. This is just the old plastic, and only I'm moving him away because I want to attach the tail, but I keep forgetting to talk about stuff. So inside of him, he's got this big open area, and this is the carrier spot where the Zord's going to fit. But it is waffled like nobody's business in here. There's just so much waffling. And wow, didn't think there would be that much waffling, but there is. But it definitely makes this thing a very, very, very sturdy toy. All right, let's put the tail back on so you can get an understanding of the length of this guy with his tail included, because this dude is big. He is big, big, big. There he goes. There's the tail. The tail is in. And, yeah, he carries the giant guns as if it were a tail. I think that's pretty cool. I really like Titanus. I never thought I'd actually ever get a chance to handle a Titanus because, they were just mythical legend when I was growing up. No way they ever made a toy of that thing. No way, we all said. But they did. It's just that, me and my friends, we never saw one in a store. And I guess it all depends on where you grew up. Growing up in the backwoods of Alabama, it never got a chance to have one of these. Our toy stores never got them. Heck, we were lucky if our toy stores got modern day stuff. We were still all playing with mask toys. and those people with the magnet feet and G1 transformers, because that's what was available at the VNS where we grew up. VNS was a store similar to Walmart, except it was VNS. I never figured out what the VNS stood for, though. Maybe it's value in shopping. Anyway, all right. Let's stop talking about what he looks like as Brontosaurus mode, and let's start talking about what he looks like in his crazy artillery mode. So to get I will definitely be explaining this to you in more depth tomorrow. Don't worry about that one. But for today, we're going to push that foot back in its little peg spot. For some reason, it always just wants to come out. And you came out again. Stop coming out of the closet, foot. Stop it. All right. So, we're going to move this down. Oh, yeah. I'm not going to bother talking about it. We're just going to do it. So, pick that up. There's the head mat. All right. Take this thing off. Move this thing down. Push that thing down. Push that thing down. Okay. Is that thing pushed down all the way? It is. It is. Okay, cool. All right. Now, where's the doohickey? Here's the doohickey. The doohickey goes right here. Go in there, doohickey. Go in there, doohickey. Doohickey. There you go. That's a good doohickey. All right. Now, I'm going to spin you off over here to the side real quick, and we're going to grab this. Put Dragonzord's tail in here. Dragonzord's tail. There it goes. Okay, Dragonzord's tail is put away. That foot fell off again. Foot, why do you keep falling off? We're just going to leave the foot off for a little while. And we're going to then move the head back into its position. We're going to take the tail, split the tail in half. We're going to go over here. We're going to put the tail in the spots. Put the tail in its spots. As soon as I figure out where is that stupid little hole. Okay, there it is. Cool. All right. And the tail gets put in its spot. Come on. Come on, guns. There you go. There you go. That's a good gun. Okay, next gun. Next gun. All right. Next gun. Next gun. We're just going to set it over here. And it's going to go in the spot. Is that the spot? That's the spot, right? That's the spot. That's got it. All right, let's go ahead and put that. Not that. Where's the foot? Here's the foot. I'm going to go ahead and put the foot back. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and put the foot back. Foot, you are going back to your home. There it is. All right. Okay, there we go. That's in there tight. Now, we bring this guy in like he does in the show. Ooh. He just lands in there. He sits steady and doesn't move. And there we go, guys. Here it is. Here's Rita Repulsa's worst nightmare. Oh man, what is this called? Is this called the Super Dragon Megazord? Or is this like the... Okay, tomorrow I'm going to give you the name for this because honestly speaking, I forgot to look it up. I forgot to look up what this mode is called. Wow, my bad. I'm usually good about this, but this is a really unique mode. And if you ever had the original Power Rangers game, and I really hope all of this is in scene, the original Power Rangers game, at the end of the game, I had the Sega Genesis version. At the end of the game, when you've beaten everything, you never get to play as this, but this shows up in kind of a cutscene blowing up Rita Repulsa's castle on the moon, which is kind of cool. It is kind of neat. But yeah, guys, so this is Titanus in his crazy battle mode for his battle tank mode. This is one of the least complex carriers out there. There are more complex ones, like the Pyramid, for instance, is a lot more complex, and you can do a lot more with it. And the Pyramid actually has access to different Zords. There's 2 different Zord teams that can take refuge in the Pyramid, which is really neat. You can consider that most Zord teams don't ever, most carriers don't ever get, 2 Zord teams. They only get 1 per, 1 carrier per Zord team. But, all right. As soon as I find my clicky stick, we'll be ending today's episode. As soon as I find... There it is. All right. Well, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this episode of More Than Meets the Eye, an introduction to Titanus and his mode that he can become. It's really cool, and it's a great way to store all of your Season 1, Zords in one simple place where it doesn't, get messed up. You can just store all these on one shelf together, and there you go. There's Season 1. It's all together like that. But anyway, I think it's time I let you go. I hope you've enjoyed it, and please, subscribe, share, comment below. Check out some of my other videos. Check out my videos on the Dragon Zord and my videos on the Power Rangers Megazord. They are in the lists below on my channel. I'm doing these every Friday and Saturday, so long as I have the the Zords to do it. Man, it's so weird handling mecha that's not Transformers on this channel. I think the only one I've ever handled was the RX-78-2. Okay, well, until next time. Bye-bye for now.